Welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast with your hosts, Kathy Gruver and Terrie Huberman.
Well, hello there and welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast. I am your co-host, Terrie Huberman.
And I am Kathy Gruver, and we've got our angel cards for the day. Let's see what we're pulling. We've got, boy, I can't relate to this one at all. Humor.
Oh, what is that? What's that? Thank God we know what that is.
Thank God we know. It's a clown. It's an angel clown holding a bunch of balloons. They look like they're coming out of his crotch, which I'm sure is not right, but that could be funny. It's something.
I mean, if I saw.
Humor is one of my values. I pride myself on being funny. My dad was incredibly funny. Humor is a big part of my life. But that's not what the episode's about.
No, but
today
it's
the
important.
episode. Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah.
that's the greatest thing. I mean,
yeah.
My father was making jokes at my mother's funeral.
Wow. But that's important.
Yeah. To me, humor is one of the, when I was looking for a partner, humor, top of the list.
For sure.
But we're going to talk about something that's not necessarily funny today. We are going to talk about paradox. And I can never remember the word. So when I was trying to describe the word to Terrie, I said, it's like when there's two things that are true, but you're not sure, but they're in conflict. And that's kind of that definition of paradox. So I have a very specific scenario that has come up multiple times in the concept of intention setting and goal reaching and that sort of thing. So if you set your goal and you're on the path to this thing that you want, and barrier after barrier and problem after problem and roadblock after roadblock is thrown up in your way, does it mean that's not the path you should be on?
Mm-hmm.
Or does it mean that you're supposed to overcome these barriers?
Right.
Either one could be true, and I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
And I've had so many people ask me similar things, and I go, it's a paradox, but I can never remember that word. So I go, It's that thing,
It's that thing.
So what do we think about that? I mean, I don't have the blueprint to the universe. They have not given that to me yet. Boy,
Right.
I wish I had it. I would share with all of you what it says. So I don't know, but it's one of those things that we encounter kind of more in the spiritual world.
Yeah.
But what does that mean when these barriers are being thrown up? Should we go a different path? Is that not what we're meant for? Or are we meant to work harder to get that thing? I don't know the answer.
I mean, I would say that if we say we know the answer, that we would be really arrogant. And that's something we humans definitely like to to be, is arrogant, because it gives us a sense of control, because then we know things. But that's a really great topic to come up, because if everything is energy, right, then would that mean we're energetically out of alignment because of all the barriers? Or does it mean we are in alignment and we're just not supposed to be going in that direction? Paradox. Paradox. I don't know if there is an answer. I kind of feel like my opinion, I guess, for whatever it's worth, or I'm not coming from a place of I know this for sure. I just want to preface that, because I don't know for sure at all. But there could be belief systems in play that are the blocks that you need to get over. Right? So if belief systems are at play, which is a lot of times what happens, if belief systems are at play, then we're the ones stopping that progress. So then it becomes more of an us issue versus a spiritual
universe issue.
Universe issue. Which path should I take? Because I mean, you have
something.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, something just came to me, which is maybe it's that opportunity to go, hang on, is this really what you want?
Sure.
It's a forced pause of, oh God, there's another boulder. How bad do I want this thing? Is this really the path that I want to be on? And like you just said, maybe it's not a universe thing, maybe it's an us thing, and it's giving us the opportunity to sit in that and say, are you sure?
Right. Right. And it's interesting because like there are things that we in our earth suits are not aware of. Like, and this is more of the spiritual aspect of it. Like, what are our soul contracts? What did we agree to coming in here? And then
Yep.
there is such a thing as karma, but I think people look at karma as a negative thing where karma can also be
Hmm.
positive because
Yeah.
energy isn't good or bad. And manifestation is about meeting the vibrations of where they're at. So the paradox just could be, again, do you keep going? Do you not keep going? But I think
Hmm.
the first step, if we are encountering a paradox like this particular example, is to stop and sit still and to
Hmm.
see if, like, are we wearing blinders? And is stuff going on here that we can't see because we're so focused on if we have a belief system, if we have a thought process or whatever.
Yep.
When we sit and take that pause, I feel like, but we're authentic about it, those
Yep.
blinders can come off. And now all of a sudden we have more of a view that we could see other levels that maybe can give us other perspectives.
Yeah. And that's a great point. And are we in resistance? Are
Correct.
we saying we want that thing, but in reality we're like we're whole some there's a tightness that happens right here, right? When you really sit in that, you realize you're resisting. I feel it like
Yeah, yeah.
this like ropes right in there. Um, so there's hmm, maybe it's a good thing.
You know what? I would say it has to be a good thing if you make it a good thing. Because, like, you could also make it a torturous thing as well. But one of the
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that just kind of popped into my head was like from the quantum perspective, is that in order to maybe jump out of the paradox, you have to become a different version of yourself so that
Mm.
even if there's just a time, and so the way you jump timelines, the spiritual community loves to like complicate, yeah, they love to like complicate things and do all, it's like,
Oh
but
yeah.
whatever, everything comes down to is a choice. Because whenever you make a choice, you're going to now go in a certain direction. That's what changes your timeline. That's what timeline jumping is, right?
Hmm.
But still, that takes me back to our conversation of pausing, right?
Yeah.
Because we have to become a different version of ourself to maybe get out of that paradox.
Yep.
But we may not be able to see it or know it or feel it or experience it or anything without that pause.
Right. Well, here's a question. I mean, and this is a theoretical thing. We don't know an answer to this, or else
Yeah.
we would be, like we'd be leading everything. But here's
Yeah.
the, oh shit, how do I phrase this? If if we land on this planet
Yeah.
with a soul contract and we are trying to strong arm something else to happen, can we force that other thing to happen or will it just not happen? So, like, let's use my acting thing, right? I shot out of the womb, sure, I was going to be an actress. And I acted in all the school plays and I went to Hollywood and they're like, what are you going to do if it doesn't work for you? And I'm like, what do you mean if it doesn't work for me? Of course it's going to work for me. Well, as I sit here, it didn't work for me. Had I stayed in Los Angeles and beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it, would it eventually clicked in and given it to me? I mean, we can't answer that
Yeah,
question,
we
right? Because I
don't,
didn't make that
right,
choice.
right,
But
right,
but what would have happened if because here's the irony of this. Oh, I love irony. Here's the irony of this. I'm on stage all the time.
right. I was just
I'm
gonna
doing
say,
podcasts. I'm performing.
is this an instance of sloppy manifestation?
Yeah,
Just to throw it
I
out there.
swore.
I don't
No, but I
know.
know. I swore I would never step off stage, and I haven't. I've done 400 talks worldwide. I've stood in arenas with 1,500 people in a jumbotron with my face on it. I was on a billboard in Times Square. I was,
Yeah.
so it's like all the things I wanted, I got. It just looks different.
Well, I mean, then we talk about perspective all the time in spirituality because it's just a different
Hmm.
point of view. We can even go so far as to say, what are we holding on to that we're not letting go of? So then, then we start bringing in forgiveness, right? And then
Oh,
and letting go, right? So,
adding that to the list.
oh boy, oh boy.
Mhm.
But, I know one of the things that I've learned, so I study Arhatic yoga, which is the union of the higher soul and the lower soul and the human. Okay. Well, the lower soul is entangled with the human.
Mhm.
And so in that study, we learn that the soul itself has three facets to it. And when it comes and takes on a human, it starts to work on the facet that's the of itself that needs the most work.
Oh.
So you have love, light, and power. Love would be emotions. So maybe you're not a very
Mhm.
emotional person, and then you're constantly being put into circumstances or
Mhm.
situations where you have to show emotion, because that is the part of the soul that needs some work, right? Light would be knowledge or information or thinking,
Mhm.
and power would be will or physicality.
Mhm.
Right. So when I look at my life and like the many paradoxes that I've had to freaking deal with and continue to freaking deal with until I leave my earth suit, if I look at the three aspects of my soul, what is the hardest lesson? What have I really have had to work on? For
Mhm.
me, it's will and willpower and physicality. I've led
Mhm.
Personally, I've led a very physical life with a lot of injuries, health issues, and money issues.
Mhm.
So I'm constantly being put in these circumstances and situations where I have to expand my consciousness in those areas. So I know, based on my experience so far, because what is
Mhm.
it's experience and knowledge equals wisdom. So, I'm pretty wise when it comes to the aspect of my soul for willpower. I'm not saying I've mastered it,
Mhm.
but I'm pretty wise in that area, right? So,
Mhm.
so maybe, just maybe, and again, I'm not claiming to know anything. I'm just trying to think here. Maybe the paradox is the part of the soul that needs work on.
Mhm. What was the name of that yoga?
Arhatic yoga. And the founding father is Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui. And that has been the most spiritually satisfying. I don't know how to say. It's just resonated and connected with me so much. And it also, what's
Yeah.
lovely
Huh.
about it is it kind of brings in different truths of various religions too, which is really nice.
Interesting. Oh, I'll have to check
So,
that out.
yeah.
The other thing that I was thinking, and then we're hitting our time.
Mm,
So we have a contract on this planet. I fully believe, and I'm sure you do too. We have a
yeah.
contract to be here, and that we're here to fulfill certain lessons. And I believe that no matter which direction we take, the things that we're here to check off our list are probably going to get checked, right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't with this husband, it'll be with this husband. If it wasn't with this job, it'll be with this job. If it wasn't with this location, it'll be with this location. So when we're in a paradox, it's our human part that's like, oh man, I really wanted to be an actress, where my soul part is like, hey, you're on stage anyway,
You're
shut the
doing
fuck up.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
you're doing it. So does it even matter if there's a paradox? No
Yeah.
matter which choice we make, do we end up getting the things that we need to have?
I believe that we do for this lifetime because the soul is ever
Mm,
expanding. So we're not going to get it all and get it right in this life, as Abraham Hicks says. But we take the soul kind of acts like a one of these, where you put in into your computer and then all the files come up. Like it's a hard drive, right?
flash drive?
So it's like flash drive, right? So what happens is everything you're going through now, all your past lives, which I know that we'll be talking about in the future, gets recorded in your soul, right? So
Hmm.
it's not like these experiences are for none, but they may not, or aspects or levels of it may get fulfilled in this lifetime. Like your mission may be complete in various areas, but you also
Yep.
most likely take it with you and you still, so God willing, if you had like 30 husbands. I'm not saying you have, but I'm like, there are people who've had like 30 husbands or 30 wives. Like, are you going to get it? Hopefully, this is the lifetime that you get it.
They might have got it.
They hopefully at 30, you would hope. My God.
They got something. If not an STD, something else.
They get a
Okay,
lot
well,
more
on
than
that
I
note,
do. On that
on
note,
that note, okay, so paradox, we don't know.
we have no clue.
We don't know. What's bottom line? We just don't know. The woo meter went, it's all over the place. Cool. Yeah, cool. I am Kathy Gruver. I can reach at kathygruver.coach.
And I'm Terrie Huberman. You can find me at terriehuberman.com. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode. We're going to have more great episodes coming up for you. We'll see you soon.
See you next week.